Yo, what's good? What's good? Just Charles, man. That one half of that podcast team y'all already know about, man. I'm just here speaking my truth this morning, this afternoon, morning, whatever it is, wherever you at, wherever you get a chance to listen to this. But yeah, just had to get this out, man. Just talking about, I've been saying a lot of stuff about them child support and what I'm saying, people going through what they go through when it comes to the child support and all the issues and everything that people be dealing with. Trust me, I'm in the same boat. So it's just crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. But I'm just gonna share y'all a little bit of my story, man. This is what I've been dealing with on my side. And trust me, the system is broken. The system definitely is outdated, and the system definitely needs to be fixed. The problems I've been dealing with in terms of just crazy. I'm in the Texas child support system. You know what I'm saying? I live in Virginia, but I'm in the Texas child support system, man, because that's where everything, just went down at, the divorce and all that good stuff. But I'm saying? At that point, it was what it was, going through all that. But let me give y'all a little bit of context, man. I am an active father. I have not missed a payment of child support at all. You know what I'm saying? So just let me give y'all that premise and that context of what's been going on. But this previous situation has been kind of touching me, and some of the phone calls and some of the things I just went through just wasn't 110% I felt like was fair. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I pay $2,300 a month in child support for two kids, a 16 and a 13-year-old. So, just to give y'all a little bit of what's been going on, so it all started, I'm a government contractor. So I had a contract that ended back in December. So when the contract ended, my income changed. So my income dropped by like almost $5,000 once that contract had ended. So I sent out and decided, you know what, I need to do a modification. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying $2,300 a month, and my income at this point now is a little over $4,000. You know what I'm saying, a month. So trying to pay 23, then got other bills and all that stuff like that, just didn't really seem feasible. Now, mind you, before I made the the paperwork or did the paperwork for the modification, I got savings. I had stuff like that. I did it the right way. You know what I'm saying, to protect myself, just in case. I understand being in the government contracting world, just how it works. So I had savings and everything like that to take care of bills and all that good stuff. So during the process, I am filling out the paperwork. So I send it in. So mind you, it was a whole big thing, whole big hiccup. It's taking so long. What's going on? Hey, we need you to send the layoff letter. I did that. We need the last few pay stubs you had at your last job. I did all that. Sent every single paperwork known to the man that they needed down in Texas. Now, mind you, going through that process, it's a long, tedious process. The paperwork, you got to have the exact numbers and all that stuff. So, filled out the paperwork, showed what my new income is. I also showed my last income and what I was paying from my initial child support order. So, once I submitted all the paperwork, I'm calling. You know what I'm saying? Any updates? Any updates? We looking through it. So finally, I get through to a lady who was like, well, they saying that the layoff letter and all that stuff, you need more of this. We need to see your wages of now. I said, I can't show you any wages now, but what I make off of my disability, because I'm not working right now. So she was still giving me a little bit of issues, but she ended up pushing it through. So I end up getting a hearing. So I'm thinking everything should be cut and dry. You got the layoff letter, you got all the paperwork that you need to handle everything that you need to handle when it comes to the paperwork, when it comes to the modification and everything going on with it. So, right after all that, in terms of dealing with all that, in terms of, putting up all that paperwork, doing everything I needed to do, I'm thinking at the hearing, like I said, it was going to be cut and dry. I'm assuming that, you know what, y'all got everything you need. I was definitely wrong in terms of that. So, the hearing comes. So when the hearing comes, the ex is on the line with the hearing and everything like that. So the first question the lady asks when the hearing gets started is, do y'all know why we here? So that was a red flag for me right there. Like, what you mean? Do you know why we're here? Why are you asking us this? So of course, I don't know if she knew or seen or anything like that, but I was like, yeah, we're here for a modification hearing. You know what I'm saying? My income is dropped almost $5,000, and I'm trying to get a modification for my child support. So she was like, okay, let me talk to a lawyer to help out the caseworker dealing with my case. So I'm confused at this point because I'm like, I asked her, I was like, I submitted my layoff letter and everything, but she was acting like she didn't have any of that information. She was like, oh, you did? I was like, yes, I submitted all the paperwork needed to address this modification. So right after that, she talked to the lawyer, I guess whoever she needed to talk to get help on the case, which was confusing to me. So right after that, she come back and says, your modification is denied because you didn't utilize services. So I was like, man, what you mean utilize services? She was like, did you file for unemployment? I was like, no, I didn't file for unemployment because I didn't need to. I had savings and everything like that to help take care of my bills, so there was no need to file for unemployment. So she was like, well, the lawyer is saying that we got to deny it because you didn't utilize service. I said, where does it say that you have to file for unemployment to get a modification on child support? Because I was like, on your website it says a significant change in income is justification for a modification. And I'm like, my income dropped over $5,000 and you telling me that's not justification for a modification? She was like, no, and this, that, and the other. And so I'm confused at this point. And so I said, ma'am, okay, if I was to play your game or this, that, and the other, how would you know if I filed for unemployment when I no longer live in Texas? And they was like, well, and I was like, yes. And I said, my ex right here, she no longer lives in Texas either. She's in Maryland. And so they was like, oh, well, we didn't know that. So right as of right now, because neither one of y'all are in Texas, we have no jurisdiction. So I'm like, all right, y'all have no jurisdiction now. So that's confusing. So the ex speak up and says, well, I'm in the transitional stage and I don't know if I'm going to come back to Texas or not, and that I still got a property down there. And I was like, so you move up here and now all of a sudden when it comes to this child support and the numbers possibly getting lower or whatever it is or whatever happens, now all of a sudden you in the transitional stage. So I was confused. Like that right there got me heated a little bit, but I ain't really respond or react during that call. And so I was just like, so you telling me if my income is only $4,000, a little over $4,000 a month, you telling me I still have to pay $2,300 a month? And what about all my other bills and everything else? She basically gave me the, I don't know, I guess you gotta figure it out type of reaction and look. So I was like, this is the reason right here why I'm trying to get my case up out of Texas. And so she was like, yeah, I understand. I was like, no, I don't think you do, but so what you telling me is I got to get a lawyer. So I got to get a lawyer to handle the situation, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, cool, you haven't been any help. So I just got off the Zoom call and I was like just distraught. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, damn, I was thinking this is an open and shut situation, but it really wasn't an open and shut situation, which confused me. So right after that, I told one of my homeboys about it. He was like, man, you should call the people just to get more clarification on what's going on. So I called the child support line or whatever, you know what I'm saying, got to a rep. So during that call, I'm asking her. So I just started going through a list of questions, just asking questions to try to get a better clarification why my modification was denied. So through the process, I'm asking, I'm like, ma'am, why is my modification, or what was the issue? And she was like, off of reading the notes from your hearing this morning, they basically denied it because you didn't have any wages or there was no jurisdiction. So they basically was like, we're not dealing with any more modifications with me in terms of trying to process it because they have no jurisdiction. So I started to break that down to the customer rep. I was like, so you saying that I didn't have any wages. I relayed to the caseworker and the paperwork that I sent in. I sent all my valid paperwork, the layoff letter, everything that I need, and also the change in numbers. So I sent it to them. Like my wage, I do have wages, which is my VA disability. So I was like, I do have a wage. I done seen cases where y'all done did a precursor when it came to numbers for child support off of the disability. And so I'm asking her, I was like, so I had the wages, so how does that not classify as wage? Because I was like, y'all used that wage to set up my initial child support order. So now that I got the wage by itself, y'all telling me that the wage don't matter now, which is confusing to me. So I was like, so which one is it? So how's the wage included in the initial child support order, but now the wage is not included when that's my only wage of what I'm making, you know what I'm saying, at this point right now. And so she couldn't really answer that. So I was like, okay, got you on that one. Strike one. So I said, all right, now you talk about jurisdiction. I said, according to your paperwork and according to what you just told me, that my ex has to be in the state of Maryland for 6 months to be classified as a resident. And so I was like, okay, she's only been here 3 months. So technically, you still have jurisdiction over the case because she's not a fully resident of the state that she moved to. She's still considered a resident of the state of Texas. And so she was like, well, that makes sense, but that they just saying because neither. I said, that don't make sense to me. So how can somebody, and she said on the hearing that she was in the transitional stage and not fully a true decision making of residence of where she's going to be or where she's going to stay or anything like that, even though, you know what I'm saying, kind of knew she was just saying that so she could try to keep the money of what I'm paying going to her. And so I was confused. I was like, so that don't make sense to me. So she said, she admitted that she's in transitional stage and she hasn't fully left the state of Texas. She hasn't been in the state long enough to be considered a resident in Maryland. And y'all telling me right now that y'all have no jurisdiction because neither one of us live in the state, when through what you're telling me, you still have to deal with the case because she's still a Texas resident. So that kind of confused me. So I'm just, you know what I'm saying, just trying to figure it all out at this point. So I said, damn, all right, strike two, got you. So now I said, you know what? I said, ma'am, do you, I'm asking the customer rep. I said, ma'am, I said, the last thing is I was told that because I didn't utilize services, i.e. unemployment or any government assistance to help me pay or whatever when it comes to my child support. I said, where is that located at? Because I don't see that anywhere on your website that that's a criteria or anything like that. So she was like, well, that's what we're told to be saying, and I'm confused. I'm like, but ma'am, I relayed to the caseworker that I didn't need those services because I still had savings to handle all bills that I needed to handle. So why would I utilize services when I don't need them? And first of all, why would that be considered the criteria for a modification in a child support case when that has nothing to do with anything? And so I said, in that situation, so I asked, I was like, so is that law or is that a policy in terms of that being anywhere? Can you point that out to me? So she said it's not law, but it's policy. Now this is what the customer rep telling me. So I'm like, all right, okay, so if it's policy, I said, can you point me out on the website or where can I go to get this policy so I can read it in black and white? You know what I'm saying? Or can you email it to me or anything like that? This is exactly what she told me when I asked her that. She said, well, it's not something that's written down. It's just pretty much something that we go by what we say. So I'm like, how do you go by something that's not written down in a policy? How are you going to say something is policy, but it's not written down? So she was like, well, if you got a complaint, then went straight to that. If you got a complaint, then you can do this, that, and the other. So I'm just confused. So I said, dang, it seems like y'all making this up as it go. And so I'm like, if y'all don't have jurisdiction and y'all saying all this stuff that is not the case, but if I don't pay, I'm still considered to have to pay the state of Texas this child support. So I'm just confused through the whole conversation, but that just baffled me that you could sit here and say on the recorded line that it's not actually policy or it's not actually written down. It's just something that we pretty much say. That kind of confused me. And I was like, you know what, man, I got to speak out on this because this is crazy. Like, I'm an active father. I do everything I'm supposed to do. Never miss, like I said, never missed anything when it comes to my child support. Take care of my kids, get my kids when I'm supposed to get them. All that stuff. And for y'all to sit here and tell me to my face that, you know what, we don't care about your income. We don't care about your income change, even though I'm doing it the right way. But now y'all sitting here telling me that I got to pay money to a lawyer for something to me that's cut and dry. So I'm asking y'all out there, that's confusing to me. What y'all think? Because I'm confused that that's the issue and that's what's going on in my situation right now. So, what I did was I filed a complaint, wrote this long email breaking down everything step by step, and still haven't heard back from the child support office. But I also sent the complaint to the Texas representative of the county, to the state representative, and I got an email back from them. And so they said they would submit the information up to the AG's office down there in Texas about my case and what's going on and try to work something out from there. It's just sad that I got to go that far up just for something I feel should be an easy cut and dry situation. My income changed significantly, and y'all telling me that basically a $5,000 change in your income don't really mean nothing to us. You still got to pay $2,300 a month, even though you're not making that much money. You know what I'm saying, of what you was used to making before. So it was just one of those, this is one of those things where I talk about how this system could make or break, you know what I'm saying, people. And this system is something that needs to be fixed. You know what I'm saying? We talk about it a lot. I know I've talked about it a lot and did some podcasts on it and things of that nature. The system is very, very broken. And when you got people making up decisions on making up things as you go, it kind of shows you like this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all let me know what it is, man. If I'm tripping or y'all see what I'm talking about. But like I said, y'all just let me know, man. But I just wanted to vent that out a little bit, man. Let y'all know, you know what I'm saying? It's just something that needs to be fixed, man. And we need to do better when it comes to fathers who do what they supposed to do. Because like I said, the system, and I heard this before, and I always said this myself as well, the system seems to work for fathers who ain't doing their job for some odd reason. But the system seems to not work for fathers who are doing their job, and they just try to just get at us at any chance that they could possibly get. So I'm confused. I'm just not, I don't know. I'm just not standing for it myself. I'm still fighting it. Like I said, hopefully I hear something back when it comes from, you know what I'm saying, them reaching out from the state representative's office to fix my situation. But we'll see, man. I keep y'all updated. But hey, as I always say, man, when I end my shows, man, y'all stay safe and y'all stay blessed out there, man. Peace.